Hey beautiful people, it's Sharice with Cooking with Sharice, and what we're doing today is making some kosher Rice Krispie treats. I'm going to use kosher marshmallows instead of the regular marshmallows. So what I have in my pot now, I have 3 tablespoons of butter melting down on a low heat. And once our butter is melted, we're going to add in 1 bag of kosher marshmallows. Alright, our butter is melted. In goes our marshmallows. I like to use the mini ones because they melt quicker than the bigger ones. Excuse me. Okay, so what we're going to do is it's a waiting game with the Rice Krispie treats because you got to just keep on mixing them around in the butter until they melt. You can't do it on a high heat because it will burn. So what you do is you just mix it all around. Make sure they all get coated in that butter. And then I like to let it sit, like flatten it out, and then just let it sit. Okay? Once it sits, it just start cooking. Then you keep mixing. You mix till all the marshmallows are completely melted. And you get like a fluff, like a marshmallow fluff. Okay, and once this is completely melted, we're going to add to it 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal. Okay, 6 cups of the Rice Krispie cereal, and that will be it. Quick and easy this is. It's just a waiting game on getting the marshmallows to melt. That's it. This is probably one of the simplest treats you can make. And the good part about it is, once you make your marshmallow treats, you can shape it into any shape you want. You know, most people do the traditional, put it in a pan and cut it into rectangle shapes. But you can make circle shapes, triangles, do whatever you want with it. A lot of people use the marshmallow treats in decorating cakes and stuff because it's easier to mold and then cover it with the fondant or cover it with chocolate. Super cute for the kids to do. See, let's give it a mix. See how that marshmallow is starting to melt? When I first started learning how to make these, I just stirred and stirred and stirred and stirred. I was like, oh my God, I'm so tired of stirring. But I was like, you know what? Just let it sit and rest. It'll do its own thing. It'll cook itself. And like I said, you can use the bigger ones, the big, the regular marshmallows that you use to roast marshmallows. You can use those. They work just as easy, but it takes longer, to me, for them to melt down. If you use the mini ones, it saves you so much time. So what you want to do is, while that's cooking and melting away, you want to make sure you get you a pan. I'm using a 13 by 9 casserole dish, the Pyrex one, and that's what I put my marshmallows in. You're going to need non-cooking spray too, non-stick spray. Get you some cooking spray because you want to coat your pan in cooking spray. Then you're going to scoop it into the pan, and then you want to either use parchment paper, not wax, because don't forget it's hot. If you use wax paper to stick to it, you can use parchment paper to flatten it out. And what I like to do is wash my hands, make sure your hands is nice and clean, and I like to spray the cooking spray on my hand and use it to flatten it out, because your hand is the best way. You make sure you press it, it's nice and tight, there's no air bubbles in there, no spaces, so that you get a nice crisp, clean rectangle shape when you go to cut it into slices. All right, so that's what I like to do. See, you just let it sit, it'll cook itself. This is really fun for the kids, especially like on an indoor day, a rainy day. Something that they can do because it's on a low heat, so they could stand like on a stool if they can't reach it, and you know, use like this, the silicone spoon, so it doesn't stick, and they can be a good helper. It's fun for them. This is something that the pot doesn't get too hot, you know, and they're able to measure the cereal and pour it in and mix it and flatten it out and cut it into shapes. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. 6 minutes have passed. So it's just a waiting game. Just a waiting game. I'm gonna get my little my mat that I'll sit the pot on when I take it off the heat. I have those little mats I use to protect the pot from the counter space, because when we take it off the heat, that's when we're gonna use our cereal. I'm gonna get my measuring cup out too. My 1 cup measuring cup, because we're going to use 6 cups of the Rice Krispie cereal. That's what we're going to add to our marshmallow fluff that we created. Should be done. Almost done. See that? That wasn't too bad. 8 minutes, because it's like 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes now. So basically like 8 minutes. Look at that. All melted. All right, so now we're gonna come over here and put our mat, our pot on the mat. All right, and to this we're gonna add our cereal. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Quick and easy. And now we're going to mix it all in. And I like to use the silicone spoon because it doesn't stick. And you're able to scrape the bottom and the sides with ease. Okay. Couple flips, make sure it's all mixed in. All right, now this is my pan. I'm going to spray it. Then we're going to get this marshmallow Rice Krispie treats up in here. sure you get it all in. All up in there. And press it out with your spoon. This is just my garbage. Press it out with your spoon. And as you can see, the spoon gets it flat, but not flat, okay? So what I like to do, wash my hands. All right, and I'm gonna spray my hand with the cooking spray. So just spray your hand with the cooking spray and you can press it. Because your fingers will get it good. That palm of your hand gets it nice and flat. Lumps and bumps out, because when you go to cut it, you want a nice, even, flat rectangle. I'm making the rectangles today, the squares. They're not really a square, it's a rectangle. Okay. I want to make sure you fill in all the spaces. All right, guys, and there we have it. Rice Krispie treats, simple and easy. All you gotta do is let this sit and come together. I like to stick it in the fridge. Stick it in the fridge. You know, if you need it right away, 20 minutes is good, but I let it sit until I need it. And then once I take it out, I put it on either wax paper, wax paper because it's cold now. Wax paper, parchment paper, or silicone mat, whatever you got, and cut it into squares, and you got beautiful kosher Rice Krispie treats. If you don't want kosher marshmallows, you can do the same thing with regular marshmallows. It's just easy to make kosher marshmallows sometimes, because then you don't have to worry about if anybody could eat it or not eat it. Okay. Thanks for watching Cooking with Cherise, guys. Don't forget to subscribe below. Have a great day.